Hello there, this is Felix. I again really appreciate the support for my channel. I thank you so much for always being there to support by way of subscription. If, as you're watching me now, you have not subscribed, you are a new viewer to my channel, perhaps this is the first time you're watching me, I humbly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. And then also turn that notification button on so that whenever I upload a video, you will gain access to the content. And therein, as I always say, I thank you so much. Those who have actually continued to be very supportive of the channel, I really, really appreciate the support. You've been very, very phenomenal. I thank you so much. Now, this time, I want us to quickly have a very beautiful discussion to do with how prayer bonds the two of you together, that being a couple. What really happens when you decide to pray together? There are some key things which most of the times we ignore, which when taken into very serious consideration, can make things become very much better between couples, ensuring that you flourish, you thrive very, very continuously. Now, so the lesson or the conversation is actually on how praying together as a couple affects your marriage, how praying together as a couple affects your marriage. Now, when you pray together, what are some of the benefits you're likely to get? I want to share with you 6 major benefits, 6 major points, which I believe so strongly that once you gain access to or once you gain knowledge of these, will help you become very much inspired to never stop. If you're already practicing and praying together as a couple, it will actually get you not stopping at all. But if you haven't tried it, and this happens to be the first time of you hearing this, then I hope this will encourage you to begin practicing praying together as a couple. Now, the first benefit or the first effect of what praying together that your marriage is, it bonds both of you together spiritually. Let's realize that life on this earth is a spiritual journey. We have a battle. If you're a Christian, realize that we have a battle with an unseen force, a force that fights against us almost every time. So the two of you getting connected together spiritually simply has to do with the fact that you form a very strong force together. Let's make the scenario, or take the scenario where you have people in a battle who don't know each other as a joint force against an opponent or an opposing force. Once there is confusion amongst those who are waging war against an enemy, you can imagine that creates a platform for the enemy to easily gain access to them and wipe them out or overcome them. So when you know each other, you fight the enemy as a united force. Once you become united or remain united against the enemy, it becomes very difficult for the enemy to get over you. So praying together as a couple, connecting you spiritually, simply implies that your ideas get connected, your thoughts get connected, you remain united in your conversations with God. So whatever the man tells God, indirectly, is what the woman is telling God. So it makes it very difficult for Satan to easily penetrate your union, to cause confusion. So always ensure that as a couple, you will pray together, because it bonds the two of you spiritually. Satan will then, as a result, find it very difficult to get into your midst, to create unnecessary confusion. Now, the second effect is when God answers one, it affects the other spouse. I actually call this the triangle mesh. When God answers the husband, the wife benefits from the answer. When God answers the wife, the husband benefits from it. So whenever you pray for each other or for each other's needs specifically, God in his own wisdom, in accordance to his own plan, answers them on the grounds of whether or not you really need those things. So if the wife or the woman's needs are not immediately or requests are not immediately answered, you are likely to have the man's prayer answered. When the man's prayer gets answered, indirectly the woman gets affected. So this is also another benefit. When God answers the prayer of the man, it affects the woman. Same way, when God answers the prayer of the woman, the husband benefits from it. The third effect is your assigned angels unite to give you a strong force against the enemy. So it is said in our local dialects that when one stick of broom is taken, it can easily be broken. But when you have a bunch of broomsticks, breaking all of them together becomes very, very challenging. So assigned angels to the two of you join forces together to fight the enemy whenever you join your hearts together in prayer. So that gives you a very strong army against the enemy. So make it a practice. Don't take it for granted. The fourth effect is it strengthens your understanding of each other's needs. Whenever you pray together, you mention the needs of your husband to God. You mention the needs of your wife to God. You get to know, okay, so exactly, these are the needs of my wife, physically and spiritually. These are the needs of my husband, spiritually and physically. So from time to time, you intercede for each other. So when complaints come up, you know that, okay, these are the reasons for which my wife is behaving this way. These are the reasons for which my husband is also behaving this way. Right. So it gets you to understand each other's life needs. But when you stay away from praying for each other, wherefore you engage in private prayers continuously without finding time to pray together, it makes it quite difficult for both of you to get to know each other's needs and even intercede for each other. This is basic. Now, the fifth effect is your offspring gain cover. Children God has blessed you with gain your covering. They gain protection as a result of the two of you praying together. Satan will find it very difficult to gain access to your children. They experience true and real wide protection against all forms of evil. Now, the sixth effect is God inhabits and renews your union at each of such praying moments. So when you go on your knees or you sit together, hold hands in love, in prayer, your love for each other gets renewed. Your understanding for each other gets renewed. Every emotion you have for each other by way of patience, whatever it is, gets renewed in God. So these six major effects are what I have actually shared with you. I believe so strongly that this will help you to a fine extent. So if it has really gotten to you, click the like button. If you have not subscribed, click the subscribe button and then turn the notification button on. As I always will say, keep a positive attitude. Keep a positive attitude. And never allow a negative attitude or a negative mindset to take you over. Because positive attitude gets you far and makes you succeed in life. I wish you well. And I pray that things will go well with you. All the best. Keep focused.